uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son, actions over words, baby boy, is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Salute everyone, and big shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-side official, baby. No negotiation needed. Period. You already know what it is. Man, we back with another one. It's not going to be a long one, but I just wanted to come in here and talk about the current state of affairs, of course. Articulated the best way I know how, because my first language is English. You feel me? English. So, there's been so much speculation as to what's going to carry forward from this 2023 calendar to the 24 calendar, being that the biggest topic of the conversation is the PBC TGB divorce that's being, spoken about with their network, their primary network, their highest budget network in Showtime. There was a point in time where Fox was in the picture, and it since blew away with the wind that was coming in because it was a storm brewing. Fox just was the first, piece of furniture to get moved out the way, and then now Showtime has since, come on deck and been on record as departing. You know what I'm saying? So, with that said, there are so many people just guessing and trying to figure out and, open a treasure box and see what's next for PBC instead of just letting these cats do what they do. I mean, just let them do what they do. We have nothing. We still going to be on the outside when they do pick up a network. How's it going to affect us? We're still going to sustain our primary position, from a tactical point from afar, remotely. And that's it. We're not going to be at the table. They're going to pick and choose what they pick and choose. But as we know right now, Showtime, a lot of people believing that when it comes to December 31st, right? When it comes to December 31st, 2023, when it becomes January 1st, 2024, it's over, done. Everything is consummated, resolved. And they still have certain paperwork that they have to deal with. And that just doesn't get washed away. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about some type of Kleenex. We're not talking about a Q-tip swab. You know what I'm saying? We're not talking about something you're just going to put in the recycle bin of the toilet and flush away, as if you don't have live fighters that signed on to fight current, that we haven't seen, that we know for a fact that was signed with Showtime. So those fights, from my understanding, will be carried out by Showtime in 2024. Showtime will not, in its totality, be removed from, whatever contractual paperwork that some of these fighters are still bonded by, and also Showtime that they will put on these fights in 2024. It's not going to do anything. You know what I'm saying? Just think about it. Just because they're not re-ing up, we need to understand when the re-up actually takes place. You know what I'm saying? We need to understand when the re-up actually takes place. What is the expiration date? That's all. That's the biggest question. If you can explain what the expiration date is when it comes to this business, you know what I'm saying, that will tell us a lot, because just because we live in a numeric simulation and there's 12 months in a calendar year doesn't mean that 12 months doesn't mean that the 12 months starts all the time in January. When you purchase something, your mortgage and everything else, it starts in the month that you purchased it or the month after, depending on when you close, right? So it doesn't mean that, okay, everything is wrapped up When in 2013 did they start a marriage? When did they get married up? When was the exact date? When does the contractual um obligation, or however they have it, within the guidelines of their paperwork, when did it start? When does it end? So from my understanding, what I've been told, and things can change along the way. Like I said, I don't give a damn about all this being first shit. But yeah, those fights, primary Crawford and Spence, more than likely be broadcasted by Showtime in 2024. And some other fights is going to be broadcasted by Showtime in 2024. What's the extension on that? I don't know. I don't know what the extension may be. I don't know in full, but I think people have the wrong they're catching a migraine trying to figure out everything that's going on with this situation. For why, I don't know. But you have to look at 2022 when they came out talking about we don't want to insult, we don't have the money and this, that, and the other. But yet the list came out with Canelo Alvarez, okay? The $100 million deal with 3 fighters, right? And then you go into 2023, somewhat the same thing happened, but hey, one human ain't the same human the next year. You know what I'm saying? One human the previous year is not the same human the next year. So you had all those names on there, Amar, Charlo, Errol Spence, and all that. But in the process, in the middle of it all, these fighters had fights. They have personal lives. You know what I'm saying? So Marlon get the jump. Mel did this year. You know what I'm saying? And then we did get the Spence Crawford fight, but it was with Showtime, right? You know what I'm saying? So separate that from PBC with the debacle that we experienced in 2022 and bring Spence and Crawford over here. The fight got made. Fight of the year, no doubt about it. Hands down, point blank, period. But now it comes into, now it brings us into a fresh year in 2024 with a fight that was supposedly scheduled to happen in December. That fight date, from our understanding, is not going to happen in December. It's going to happen in the first semester of 2024. So that's where everybody is at right now. The part I always have issues with when it comes to information delivery, especially in this boxing game, is that it just seems like people get it confused on what our position is as content creators and media distributors or disseminators or whatever. You know what I'm saying? The railway of information. You know what I'm saying? You can source it however you feel like. Some information is obtained. It's just clear, cut, and dry, right? And then other information you have to search from other parties, to get it from other parties. And then you have to cipher through and filter what is legit and what is not, right? So it just seems like when boxing is dropping information, they always have you scurrying around here like, it's an antfield or it's an ant mole. And you gotta, find out what information here, what information is that. And that shit can become stressful to a lot of ways because it should be a much more smoother delivery than that. We should know what's happening in 2024. Why does everything have to be a surprise? When I hear Ellaby talk about they're going to be sick, who's going to be sick? Because nobody on the YTC is making fights. We're not matchmaking fights for the PBC. You all are the topic of discussion based off networks departing, severing ties. That's the topic of discussion when it comes to you all. So to say someone's going to be sick, I've been sick and tired of boxing on how they drop fight dates and how they drop news. The employees, they say the employees, can't even drop the information. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does it do? If you're trying to maximize the numbers of a fight, why wouldn't you drop the information early? Or you're just trying to say, okay, you can't do this and do this until the promotion get around to doing it. And that's like a month out, month or two out from the actual fight date, depending on how big the fight is. We always have to skip around here, low crawl, find a trench, sewer system, You know what I'm saying? Above and beyond. Just trying to freaking parachute our way into a landing zone where we can get correct information when it comes to boxing. That's yearly. That's all the freaking time. This is how it works all the time for boxing. But when it comes to this Showtime being gone in 2023, um, portions or segments of certain compartments of Showtime, depending on how many fighters they have remaining on their contractual agreement, yeah, that will dissolve if it's supposed to happen in 2023. I'm pretty sure people have been made aware that Keith Thurman will be fighting Stanthionis in December. You know what I'm saying? On that undercard will be Erislandy Lara and Danny Garcia. So they have some fights that they're putting out. Keith Thurman is fighting one of the top ranked guys at 147 pounds. Is Keith Thurman is Thurman and Stanthionis the fight we want to see other than Crawford Spence rematch? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Bruce Gas Boxing Jackson Moore. What's good with OG first in the building? What's good with it, bro? How you feeling? Carlos Rosado on deck. I see you in the building. Salute to you. That was a good panel last night. I learned a lot about the PBC situation. Yeah, man. Shout out to the cats who was on the panel, man. Yesterday. I'm not a panel connoisseur like most. Every now and then I may engage upon it. But yes, the panel yesterday was very informative, educational. And that's what I like. You know what I'm saying? I like a panel that I can learn some shit off of. That's all. You know what I'm saying? You learn a lot from multiple minds speaking in the company with one another that's knowledgeable. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm at with it. Regardless of what happened, fans determine your success when it comes to being in high demand. Yeah, I mean the consumers. You think about it, Carlos, right? Bruce, Tyrese, what's good? I see you in the building. You think about this. We're supposed to be the consumers, the individuals that's supposed to be coming to these venues or, purchasing these pay-per-views or even supporting anything, merch, everything. We're the contributors. We are somewhat like the financiers too. Our money counts. They're collecting our money. They're hoping that we are showing up and giving our full attention to these fights. But yet, I think that only works when it comes to, are you going to go see the fight or not? But then when they drop the info, they act like we always got to wait. I mean, we trying to schedule all days, schedule all freaking work days and our weeks to see can we settle in and make this fight. Either it's in person or remotely, But, like I said before, when it comes to boxing, it just gets down to you hearing the information. Like nobody can drop the freaking information in a timely manner. It's always the big fights. I don't know that. I don't know this. We'll stay posted. We got some big news. We got big news, y'all. Big news. I'm like, what's so big about the freaking news, man? Just drop the goddamn news. Just let us know what's on the horizon to give us a little bit of salivation for that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just give us something to salivate off of that's going to happen. More than likely, this is going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Just wait for the fight to be announced. But this is what we're looking at right now. If that's what's on the roster, that's pending, that's imminent on a freaking fight card. Just put it up there and let people talk about it. Get it generated out here in social media. You know what I'm saying? Let's get active with the topic. But as far as Showtime, yes, they will still have presence in 2024. I know a lot of people looking at it like they're just gonna poof be gone. It's the end. The new year will usher in the end of 2023 will usher in 2024. Showtime will be gone, non-existent. No, it's not gonna happen like that. I don't know how long they're gonna be active in 2024, but they're gonna be in charge of those fights, man. They're gonna be broadcasting those fights that they're supposed to. I don't know what the fight dates are going to look like, in 2024 for the entire calendar year. But Some of the fights that we're saying, oh man, wasn't that fighter signed with this person? Wasn't that with that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they got to make that happen. Spence Crawford. Yeah, who's gonna pick up that fight? Who's gonna pay them what they was gonna get? Showtime is gonna have to pick up that fight. Showtime is gonna pick up that fight, man. You know what I'm saying? They went dormant again. We was waiting in 20, early part of this year, we was waiting and waiting. And then the fighters finally announced it. Okay, we got Spence Crawford. Now the fight happens and goes dormant again. And we're heading out this year into 2024 the same way we did in 22 to 23. We don't know jack. All they told us was February. When February? You know what I'm saying? When? That's all I'm saying. When in February? That's all I need to know right there. When? Let me know. Yeah, I was watching that. My boy Reggie Barnett was on there. You know what I'm saying? My boy Barnett, man, retained this title. I was looking at those. My boy Solo too. He fought on that card. You know what I'm saying? That was a good card. That was a good stream too, for real. I don't know how you did it without. Well, I know you're not monetized, but that was a good stream right there. I didn't know you could stream, but I guess they don't care if you're not monetized. But yeah, that shit was active. That was real active, for real. Oh, Reggie got knocked out. That was a replay. I thought he retained his shit. Am I tripping? Hell no. Reggie got knocked out? I'm tripping, man. I'm tripping. I'm tripping big time. Wow. What the hell I was looking at? I must have been looking at a freaking one of his older fights, man. I don't think that's the first time he got freaking stopped. Damn, I thought he retained his belt. Hey, man, that's a tough sport, man. Reggie's been there. He's been defeated. You know what I'm saying? Damn, my boy Jeremiah Scott was there too. Jeremiah. He said, "You gonna pack a lunch." I covered this guy before he even made it to the BKFC. I covered him on the regional level, Jeremiah Scott. You know what I'm saying? Before he even had his kid. Shout out to Jeremiah Scott. Salute to you, man. Salone Staley, man. Salute to you. Cover him too. Wow. Thanks for that information. I got the information wrong there, Bruce. Shit, I was looking at a different fight then. I was looking at a different fight. I must have been looking at the damn previews leading up to that shit because I was all over the place. Damn. Oh, you gotta take it down when it's okay. I thought they freaking. I know the UFC will remove your shit if you up here streaming one of the UFC fight cards. They will remove your shit while you're active. They will remove that. Keith Rockstar Richardson KO'd him. Yeah. And Richardson is experienced too. He wasn't no joke now. He wasn't no joke. Shout out to the GOAT, Big Blunts and Boxing in the building, man. What's good with it? How you feeling? You know what I'm saying? That was hell of an action card. Yeah, that card was action. I didn't catch the entire card on there, but I could have sworn, man, when you was talking about it. I guess I was looking at two other live streams too. and one I was playing. You know how you can put the mouse over the shit and it's playing. I thought Reggie retained this title. My bad. Damn. I covered Reggie just like I covered Lorenzo Juggernaut Hunt. I covered them doing open workouts before they even got involved in that. You know what I'm saying? More so Lorenzo Hunt, the one that's a two-weight world champion now. He's a legend over there now. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Juggernaut, man. I covered them several times down in Florida BKFC. Bruce said he picked up near 300 subs. He was out there hustling, man. He said, I know where to get my itch. They were showing the previews and showing old knockouts. Okay. That's what it was, man. That's what it was. They caught me slipping. But when I be looking at these BJJ tournaments too, and also, you know, when the UFC got a card coming up, I also be, you know, the UFC got, you know, they own right now as we speak. You know, say they're in Abu Dhabi. So I'll be paying attention to that shit too. But yeah, I just want to let people know that, you know, the Showtime affair, they will have their presence in 2024 for some of the fights that you're, you know, anticipating or, you know, that you expecting. Real talk. Like Crawford and Spence is just not gonna die away. You know, they're just not gonna disappear. It's not gonna happen. They're on the contract, and this fight is gonna be broadcasted by Showtime. You know what I'm saying? You know how much legality has to take place for another network to come in and get all this and get their camera crews ready and this, that, and the other. No, that's a lot of shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Paperwork wise, admin logistics, you know, liaison, all that shit has to be taking place. It's not just a drop of a hat. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot. I'm just curious how the maneuvering is going to work with all the film crew and everything. You know what I'm saying? All access, man. Once again, that shit. That's what it is, man. It kind of, you know, fizzled just a little bit with some of the last ones, but all access, man, we're gonna miss it. But that's where I'm at with this Keith Thurman. I wanted to talk about the Keith Thurman situation. That's gonna be December 9th on Showtime. All right. You know, anybody who know Keith Thurman, he's not a bum. Keith Thurman's just been inactive in the last 6 years, man. And a lot of people are just waiting for the former unified welterweight world champion to return. You know, he's 30-1, 22 knockouts. He used to be considered one time. But if you look at his schedule, right, he fought twice in 2015. He fought Sean Porter in 2016, June 2016. He fought once in 2017, March of 2017, Danny Garcia. You know, he won both of those. You know what I'm saying? He won both of those. Of course, Sean Porter was challenging for the WBA title, of course. And he went on to fight Josecito Lopez after taking, you know, just short of a year layoff, 2 years layoff from Danny Garcia to Josecito Lopez. He fought Josecito Lopez January 2019. You know what I'm saying? Beat him majority decision. And then he came back in 2019 in July and fought Manny Pacquiao. And that's when he suffered his first defeat, you know, dropped in the first round and lost a split decision. Now, from 2019, July 2019 to February 2022, he had another hiatus where he fought Mario Barrios. So, you know, he'll be returning, you know, at the end of this year after being out the ring over a year and a half. Again, it's just unfortunate for Thurman that he still has, you know, some appraising value to his name right now. And a lot of people are going to look at it like, well, Keith Thurman, he's not damaging. He's not, you know, putting road work and putting miles on his body, there should be some type of preservation there. I don't know how much. I don't know how, if he's still injured or he's totally healthy, but he's supposed to be stepping back in there, man. 30 and 122 knockouts. He's supposed to be next up. You know what I'm saying? In December or whatever. To return once again. And the big part about Keith Thurman, he just want big fights, like a lot of fighters that's on their way, up to another weight class or out the sport. They want nothing but big fights. I don't blame them. People get mad when boxers say they want big fights, and they put in, enough time to be heading to the back end of their career to hang them gloves up, and they want to get paid accordingly. Because once you get out of boxing, it's no stipend that you're getting unless you're getting that juicy back end money. You know, um, I would have rather Thurman fought Jerron Ennis, but he is coming off over a year and a half layoff. We don't know how that would have worked out. But another guy that's on the card in a rematch is Chris Colbert, 17 and 1-6. Him and Rayo, Jose Valenzuela, 12-2, 8 knockouts. Supposed to rematch. You know what I'm saying? Supposed to rematch. Because that fight right there, Valenzuela should have won that fight. Point blank, period. But let him get over so much. You know what I'm saying? Since then, Chris Colbert has had his, ebbs and flows, But one thing we understand about Chris, that goddamn Energizer battery that's in his motherfucking back of his head is gonna keep his mouth running. That's what we know about him. I don't know the situation with Floyd. I really don't want to talk about it because, in the process of people just talking about how Showtime is doing this, that, and the other, Floyd is doing his own thing. And he's almost like the Lone Ranger right now. He's just going around galloping, and whenever he wants to slide in, he slide in. I don't think he's relevant to the conversation of boxing because it's like whatever he's doing is not really, it seems like it doesn't have a purpose, bro. Like he's just going up here and it's just him, strictly him. There's really no connection with the fan. It's just like when his name pop up, say, "Hey, Floyd going over here to fight." It's really nothing that we that gravitates us to him anymore. To say, okay, what's the reason why you're doing this? Just attach Mikey Garcia to it. Okay, you want to attach Mikey Garcia, but how does it connect to us and what you're doing? You know what I'm saying? Like he was able to get away with that with Logan Paul because the Paul name was jumping, and they had the finances behind them. People was all getting behind the Paul brothers, while they was in the maturation process growing up. So for Floyd to slide down there in Florida and have that fight, it was cool for them to do that. I mean, whatever, I mean, fight a freaking, a former YouTube guy, because he's doing big things now. I give Logan Paul that. He is on primetime TV, whether it's wrestling entertainment or boxing. They doing their thing. But at the end of the day, he's just not doing something that gravitates to the boxing community, the boxing masses, Floyd. But he is supposed to slide in there December 9th and have another fight. You know what I'm saying? They say it's going to be Mikey Garcia. And then when you get somebody that's in the gym, ask the Mikey say he retiring. That's the toilet bowl freaking swirl that I love watching. You know what I'm saying? All those turds just swirling around, just go down the damn toilet when it comes to boxing media. That's what they do, man. They can't just give it to you on a nice, well decorated, plate of several entrees. This is what we have for you for this calendar year. Look at these entrees. Let's go over these one by one. No, it's always got to be some cheesy ass appetizers and shit, some finger food, some stale finger food at that, some motherfucking Funyuns and shit. You know what I'm saying? Some old Cheetos, I mean, goddamn. And then you ask for something to drink in that motherfucker. Okay, well, you can get it for yourself. We got tap water over there. We just put some ice and lemon in that motherfucker. Go ahead. But yet they want you to come to the fights and support their fights. You know what I'm saying? They want you to come and support their fights, though. But yet consumers, we always get left out in the cold. Um I'm I know this fight may pick up sooner or later, but like I mentioned you all before, that Dana White is saying that his card today is going to do, pretty decent comparable to, I'm saying, Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou. You know what I'm saying? We got Frank Warren on deck, Bob Arum, and this fight is going to pick up energy, man. This Tyson Fury fight and Francis Ngannou is going to pick up energy. How much energy it pick up, I don't know. I don't know. Real talk. You step on the goddamn motherfucking bee once you move your feet, the shit still might fly out, man. It might fly away. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what type of damn shoes you got on that motherfucker. I mean, people stepping on it right now. They ain't really paying no goddamn attention. But at the end of the day, I think it might get a little bit buzz going. It might sting a couple of motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that it's no title shot, it's all the way over there in the sand. I don't know, man. Ain't nobody been talking about this shit like it's supposed to. Ain't nobody been saying too much about it. Seriously. That's the wild part about it. The Regis and Devin Haney situation, to me, unless Regis is gonna come up here and shock the world, I'm just looking at, like, I was expecting more out of the presser, being that we came off a lackluster Canelo Alvarez and Jamel Charlo. We needed something else to bump it back up. You know what I'm saying? Bump up the pulse a little bit, get the frequency spiking and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then this Haney freaking progress, man. It's just bums. Seriously, it bummed. They did more talking backstage. They was more, they was doing more conscious interactions with one another. That entertainment value could have been given to the audience at the press conference. But I don't know about this fight, man. It just seems like, the way I'm looking at it, it just seems like it has the ingredients, you know what I'm saying, to be some gumbo. It has something for it to be tantalizing to the fans. You have two champions, real talk. You have two multi-time champions stepping in there, but Devin Haney, yeah, he looks bigger than Regis, okay? Regis always been small. That's why he's standing at 140. But just the energy was a bit eccentric to me. And, just listening to what wasn't said on stage and what was said off stage and all the bullshit. I ain't saying black people can't bullshit together. I'm not saying that. I'm just want to, like, how do I get back motivated for this fight? Like, I was expecting just a bit more promotional effort by the fighters to the fans. That's all I was. I mean, I'm not asking you to change your features up and come in looking like you at the World Wrestling Entertainment, looking like Rey Mysterio and shit, a Kane, an Undertaker. I'm not asking you to put on the motherfucking uniform. All I'm doing is, goddamn, give us something that we can talk about, and we have fun talking about it. That shit was just WHHH ACKKKKKKKEEEKKK. I mean, it was just whack. Real talk, man. If I was to bestow that antiquated term back into, the end of 2023, it was whack. Nigga, that shit was whack. God damn it. I'm looking for some different type of temperature with these presses, man. That shit was wickedy whack. Make you wanna I make you wanna I make you wanna That's what kind of shit that was. It wasn't nothing cheerful about that. That shit was goddamn dull, trite, stale than the motherfucker. But no, I got all the motherfucking words, man. Fuck it. I wasn't impressed, god damn it. I wasn't impressed, dog. Y'all gotta do fucking better. Regis and freaking Haney. Y'all gotta do better with your promo. Now I will give Devin this. He did push Lomachenko when he was on that Vegas stage. He did, man. He did. He shoved him and he got fined for it. I thought that was total utter bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Tank put his hands on everybody over there at PBC or whatever, and they don't do nothing to him. I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying he pushes damn near everybody. Rolly pushed him off stage. Push Ryan. You know what I'm saying? He pushed Isak Cruz. He pushed Gamboa. Man, he don't push several fighters, but Haney pushes one pretty boy. And people are talking about it was assault. Soft than a motherfucker, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder is he gonna push Regis. I doubt he's willing to try that again, give up the bag, because there's some different shit going on over there, man. You know what I'm saying? Because Lomachenko arms folded forward like he was putting on a new jacket or something. And they said, oh man, it looks too bad, man. He could have broke both clavicles. He could have torn bilateral. He had a bilateral rotator cuff, Lomachenko. That's what hindered him from really dominating Devin Haney. Man, come on, bro. And to think people was up here just bragging about how, you know, PBC was doing this and that, only for the network to get euthanized. Somebody tell me one more again what we talking about. They was bragging big time, right? Oh man, the fighters are getting paid, the business. You know, they doing it big. Can't nobody fuck with them. Top rank can't do this, top rank can't do that. I'm like, bro, why are we at the point near the end of the year? Why are we here? Why are we here? Showtime is about to be euthanized from any type of live activity. You know what I'm saying? Long term in 2024. They're going to basically fulfill whatever paperwork they have remaining in 2024. And then they're out the door, shouty. They say I'm guessing Bud versus Errol would be Showtime last broadcast. Yeah, they're gonna take care of that, man. They're definitely gonna for the better good and business, you know, they definitely going to fulfill that fight. That's another matchup that I'm looking at and say, hey, they can say what they want. I know I've made several upon several jokes about the thrashing that took place. I have. But it's dormant right now. It's going to be dormant throughout the back end of the year because, you know, the information isn't there. We don't know what time in February. They might give us some information in December so people can prepare if they're going to attend the fight again for February, if indeed it's in February, not fucking March. Because we heard this heading into this year. We heard it was going to be in February. And then it was going to be in April. It ended up being in July. I'm saying it ended up being all the way in July. So, hey, man, it is what it is with this shit. I just want to see the fight. I think a lot of people, they were saying that, you know, it's too quick for Errol to do a turnaround expeditiously, and that he should take a little bit more time. So is February enough time? You're talking about August, September, October, November, December, January. That puts him at a full 6 months, half a year from July 29th to step in there in February. So, like, I wasn't in the ring. So I did witness, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what condition a medical examiner would put, Errol Spence in at this point. I don't know what his assessment value will be. I don't know what that's like. But in the minds of the consumers, it's better than him if he would have stepped in here in December. It's better because people was up here crying and bitching about him stepping in. It was too early. He took too much punishment. I get it. Your blessings wasn't answered, and now you got to run amok to come up with freaking excuses as to why you didn't want him to step back in there. I understand the restlessness. I do. WCS understands it. But the good thing about it is that they supposed to fight just outside 6 months in the next calendar year. And I mean, one or two things are going to happen. Either he's going to be more competitive, or we're going to witness the same type of violence that we seen the first time around, people. That's just the way I see it. I gave him 0% chance the first fight, and I give him negative 1,000% chance of winning the second fight. I don't see him or nobody that he's attaching himself with, whether it's Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? It can be Mayweather, bad weather, good weather, sunny weather, rainy weather, stormy weather. You know what I'm saying? Cool weather, hot weather. Whatever weather you wants to get to help Spence train, inclement weather, it can be any one of them weathers. It's not going to fucking matter. He's not going to be able to transform himself from July 29th to February to come in here and basically show us how resourceful and how much he's been holding back his entire career fighting one way. Because people want to use the term, if it wasn't broke, don't fix it. Well, it's much more difficult if you're so used to doing things the same way all the time to get to a point where you're forced to basically open up, you know what I'm saying? Become the nutcracker a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You're cracking open some new shells and people trying to show you and add some new tools to your cachet and all that. Who's going to be able to do that? Because you definitely ain't going to fight like if Floyd is helping you out. Well, you definitely ain't fighting like Floyd. Totally two different styles, bro. I'm not saying he can't come in there with some changes, but like they always say about Crawford, it's a lot of stuff that you have seen, and it's plenty that you haven't. It's plenty that you haven't. Period. So we're kind of looking at me. I'm kind of looking at, okay, we seen what we seen from Spence. What changes can he make to come back in there and make it a much more challenging fight for Crawford? And then we look at Crawford, we say to ourselves, like, if by chance Errol gives us a stronger beginning to the fight, let's say the first semester, 2, 3 rounds, 4 rounds, will it be enough for us to say that Crawford is now showing us something that we didn't see the first fight? He's now showing us something we didn't see in the previous challenges that he had at welterweight. That's my curiosity of it all. Like, is it possible for Errol Spence to challenge Crawford enough for him to, pretty much select weapons that has been on the shelf in the vault and let us see those too? Can we see Errol Spence force Bud Crawford into a situation of vulnerability and have him actually in a fight earlier than what we expected looking at the first fight? You know what I'm saying? Can we see a fight break out? If a fight does break out early in the fight, how would it play out? You know what I'm saying? Will Spence coming here looking way stronger than the last fight, being is at a higher weight? I don't want to hear no excuses, brother. I want everybody to be on one accord. God damn it. He had over 6 months. Can he get it done? That's going to be the biggest, question mark that people are swinging around here. You know what I'm saying? Can Spence come in here with some changes made at a higher weight class and basically give a better representation of himself as a pound for pound fighter at the time, that when he stepped in there with another pound for pound constituent and it didn't work out in his favor? I want to know, Can it make any difference? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, people. All I want to do is see the fight. Without all the pedophagging, I just want to see the fight. I don't need all that other stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? I come in peace for this second round with the hot grease. I'm trying my best to drink. What they say? I want you to drink what? What's that term they use? Responsibly. I'm trying to drink out the cup responsibly. I don't want to take it all to the head and come up here and start talking my shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to drink responsibly. I'm trying to pour a little in the cup. Even though I have total control of how much I pour in the cup, I just want to pour a little bit. I just want to sip on, the hot grease. I just want to fuel myself up to come in here and get this hot grease. I could just drink out the bottle, but if I do that, then it's going to stray elsewhere. I'm going to start bringing in bystanders that I believe that's responsible and should be held liable for the demise of so many people that was crushed in this freaking first fight. And then they're going to be even more that because they get to go through a freaking holiday salivating once again for 2024. And they really can't comfortably come on here and say, you know what? This shit gonna be what I expected. Real talk. This shit gonna be what I expected right here. Yeah, he's been out long enough. He had a higher weight class. This is what we've been waiting on. Crawford in trouble. Yeah. And I mean that's what we want. That's what we want. We want to be competitive. I want to be competitive. You know what I'm saying? Every time I talk about this fight, I don't want to do it I'm not going to do it with restraint, to be honest with you. It's going to be open-ended. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it might be the Wild Wild West, the OK Corral. It's going to be, you know what I'm saying, free falling. There's going to be a lot of ground troops. You know what I'm saying? Tactical combat. All the way up to this rematch happen because we're going to dead this once and for all, man. This is the fight, if any, on Showtime that people want to see. It's the Crawford Spence finale. That's what it is. It's not the rematch. It's the finale. It's over after that. It's not going to be no trilogy. It's over. It's over, dog. It's done. It's over. We just need to get it back into the room. You know what I'm saying? We just need to get it back on the docket, rather. Get it on the schedule, free from any speculation, so we can know when the fight dates are. And just start hearing the those individuals that consider themselves pro Spence channels and pro Spence fans. Let's see what they have to say, man. Let's see if they have relieved themselves of the hostility that we're used to seeing from them. It's just so much bickering and crying and bitching and moaning all the time about how he was beat, other than how he's going to come back in here and attempt to redeem himself. That's what WCS want to see, man. Shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-Side official. Yes, sir. We should have a tendency to correct those who choose to speak out of turn. And then when the shit don't go their way, they come back around and say, oh, well, this, I saw, what, and he was loaded, rate, residual, and you just have a collage of verbal motherfucking excuses coming at you. You know what I'm saying? That's up here contaminating these airwaves. I mean, the air quality sucked after the motherfucking July 29th in this bitch. The air quality motherfucking sucked, y'all. Motherfucker, every time you turned around, they was blowing smoke. And man, god damn, man. I gotta smoke my goddamn misery away. Motherfucker was blowing smoke in this bitch, man. It was fucked up. The air quality was fucked up after July 29th. I blame Crawford. I blame Bomac. I blame everybody over there in Omaha because they goddamn smoked the motherfucker up. They had so many fires going on in the T-Mobile Arena, dog. God damn. I didn't know that one person, they always talk about a one-man army, really can't get the shit done. That shit right there, man. That shit was senseless what happened. Real talk. It was senseless. It could have been a lot more violence, but thanks to Harvey Dock being the third man in the ring, he relieved Errol Spence of that moment where it could have been something much more formal afterwards. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gathered here today in memory of formerly unified champion Errol Spence Jr. We want to bring you to this retirement. As you all witnessed, July 29th was one of those days that will always be recorded in the boxing annals. A fight that took place between 2 pound-for-pound elites, but only one stepped up to the plate. Whoo! What a fight it was, people. What a fight it will be remembered as. As we lay Mr. Errol Spence to rest, as he goes out into retirement, we say to you, Mr. Spence, you gave it all you had. Now, if you're going to retire, stay gone and enjoy yourself. You know what I'm saying? Let your mind be free. Please don't return back to the ring. Because once you do, you're going to think about this day, July 29th, when you met Terrence Bud Crawford and you felt that the man ain't fought nobody. You know? And you found out that the nobodies you thought were somebodies were actually better than you gave them credit for. You know what I'm saying? They was actually people. They was actually boxers that was better than what you gave them credit for. You kind of underestimated the man himself heading into the art of war. You know, you underestimated that, Mr. Spence. And that's why you ended up along with your trainer. You know what I'm saying? Your renowned lead dancer, Diddy James, bitch. That combination right there, if it would have been severed earlier, maybe your career would have been still active and ongoing. But since that kinship that you all established over so many years prior, pretty much contributed to the demise and destruction and everything else that we seen take place at the T-Mobile Arena. So therefore, WCS is not going to keep you long. I'm not going to be stubborn about this. You know what I'm saying? Nor am I trying to get the aerosexuals on a Saturday and then maybe tuned in and just not hitting the like button. I'm not going to put you out there and have you feeling faint, queasy, you know what I'm saying, and nothing like that. But I'm saying you fucked up the air quality. I didn't appreciate it. I don't have a problem with you conveying disapproval because that was your man's. But one thing you have to understand, why don't y'all get back on the tracks? Dump the fuel, dump the coal in that motherfucker now. Fuel the motherfucking train and get back to the next station in 2024 and come out that bitch with a much stronger bond and unity. Because listen, you talking about Crawford before the fight, during the fight, and after the fight, still has done nothing to change what is on BoxRec and what's recorded, what's with the boxing annals, and what is etched in the mind of these boxing fans based off what they seen at the T-Mobile Arena. That's just point blank period, y'all. Y'all have simply failed the PBC. But what you can do, you have one last hope out the door that Crawford Spence finale. Why don't y'all just do a bit better with reporting on Spence? One of you channels has to have enough juice to get this man on your panel. As much as you talk about his opponent, you have to do a bit more organization. You have to do a bit more, PR work, reaching out, making contacts, something. That's all I want you to do. I want you to do something that's respectful and complimentary. Try to get Errol Spence on your show so we can, eliminate when they say silence when there should be a voice. It should be a voice right now. We want to know what's going on with Spence. That's all. We want to know what's going on with him. I know he's back from vacation. He should be in the gym. Distance has happened before with him, but I just want everything to be on a level playing field heading into this finale. You know what I'm saying? I don't want the aerosexuals to have a sense of frustration heading into these holidays. I know it's very, very stressful for them heading into these holidays, knowing that that finale is happening in 2024, and they really can't be confident and be strong enough to say, you know what, I'm putting my money on Spence again. I know that's not the case, shawty. I know it's difficult for y'all to just say, I'm putting my money back on Spence again. Fuck it, man. I'm riding out with him. I know in a state of delirium. I don't know, man. Like maybe later on tonight, I catch you when you're leaving the bar, and I stick the phone in your face. Say, hey, you look like an aerosexual. Can I ask you a couple of questions heading into this rematch next year? Right? I just want to ask you this. Did you put money on the first fight? You did. Okay, you lost. I already know that. I don't have to ask you that. But what I want to try to understand: are you feeling a certain type of way about doing it again? Can you do it again? Just give me a little bit of sign, just like DMS. Lord, give me a sign. That's all. That's all I want. You don't have to be rude about it. All right, I come in peace. You know what I'm saying? I come in peace. All right. I just didn't leave the dark room retreat. But will you put money on Spence for the rematch? AKA finale. Will you do that again? Yeah, I'll probably put money on it, but it'll be a much lower wager because I'm still trying to get out the red with that from July to. All right, that's all I want to know. You was fair and honest about this shit. That's all I want to know, big homie. You know what I'm saying? I got you. And appreciate you not acting like you didn't have a care and concern. I appreciate that, man. You know, you gave me a little something. You gave me a nugget. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Real talk. I appreciate you. But people, I got to run. It's Saturday. I'm gonna take care of some things. I really don't want to further disrupt the state of calmness and serenity. You know what I'm saying? Of the aerosexuals talking about they may be the last fight on Showtime's freaking roster. If it's indeed what an climactic moment that would be, I'm pretty sure in February it's gonna be a lot more buzz being picked up in here. But I just wanted to, just put a little bit of hot grease out there just to keep them cooking. You know what I'm saying? Keep the temperature right, because it's essential that you keep them accountable. It's essential that it's essential that I remind them on their misfortunes when it comes to this boxing game. For real. It's up to me. Solely. It's just up to me to do this. You know what I'm saying? It's up to me to make you aware that I do march in verbal boots. I do. And I plan on stomping around here with hot grease in both hands until y'all get the picture. So maybe when it comes time for you all to start talking about this fight again, your primary lens of effort will be who? Errol Spence. On the Crawford side, we don't need your help. We don't need no new members. We don't need fence jumpers. We don't need paratroopers. We don't need goddamn jailbreakers. We don't need any of that. We just need for you to establish your final line of defense and come up with some freaking media that is credible to draw in people's attention and say, this is why we want to see the finale. We believe we can boost up Spence freaking Wall Street just enough to get these people to return and say, I'm putting more money on Spence this time. Fuck it. I'm riding out with him. I'm using every cylinder in the transmission. Y'all hold the shit down, man. How to chat in the MF and Game 8 Solid Fish on my peace.
jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Hey, what you got to say there, champ? Yeah, man. Much love, Black. It's your turn. What you got to say? What you got to say? To this day. To this day. To this day.